welcome to this episode of Accelerating Financial Freedom. I am your host, Jeff Cantor. Wanted to let you know that we are recording all of these for posterity. We also want you to come and take a look at the various areas within the Freedom Hub that's able to help you out. So let's take a look here real quick. We are recording, as I said, at any of these links to go see. We have a special guest for tonight, but before we dig into that for one moment, when you come to the regular home screen site, which of course is the mphwf.com. And so actually, when you're ready to see what's going on, you click on this particular link, the mphwf.com/wealth. You'll see there's a link here right away for that. But most importantly, you'll scroll down and be able to see the various videos that have been done in the past. Here's how you can review all of these, everything always, and they're added to this site on a regular basis. So keep this link bookmarked. You'll definitely want to come back here. And on that note, I'm going to turn the screen over to our guest today. As I indicated, we do have a great guest today. This is Sam's here today. He's the founder of the Debt Network Academy. But most importantly, he's going to show you for a quick minute here how you too can find out how quickly you actually can be out of debt. So Sam, take it away.
Okay, well, thank you, Jeff. It's exciting to be here this evening, and we're going to give a quick discussion about what if your money could talk, changing the way people think about managing debt in order to build wealth faster than they could ever imagine. So what can you do to make better financial decisions in 2021? It's around the corner. We're going to provide some of the bank secrets of making spread profits like they do, and we're going to help you learn how you can do it yourself by taking our course. And again, as Jeff mentioned earlier, these are a few of the workshops that we provided to you, which are free on the website, which is mphwf.com/wealth. So one of the great quotes that I've used many times by Seth Godin is pretty interesting, because when smart, committed people disagree about the answer to a question, you found a question worth pursuing and a discussion worth having. And this happens throughout my career of 47 years. Some CPAs feel you should do it this way, others another way, attorneys, estate planning, life insurance. The key element right now, and the key question is, which comes first for you? Is it debt, worrying about your debt, paying it off, or are you trying to build wealth faster than your debt, or is there a problem? So we hope to show you the DNA Cash Flow Challenge to allow you to take a test ride. So how would you like to make better financial decisions? Well, now you can. Find out how to answer your what-if questions in seconds. Many of us, including myself, what if I did this? What if I bought another house? What if I refinanced? All of these questions, it's difficult to use a calculator. The software we use in our course is advanced technology that lets you interact with your what if questions. In fact, they answer it mathematically in seconds. So especially with rates being low today, should you refinance your home and take equity out? What if you temporarily stopped your IRA contribution or your 401k? Would it make a difference either in your wealth or in reducing debt? And what if you did have an extra $500 a month of discretionary income? Would it make a difference? Do you invest it, or should you pay down debt? Maybe you should buy a new car. All of these scenarios instantly record what you are going to do with your money, and it shows you instantly the result mathematically. No one's here to tell you you should do it one way or the other, but the math tells the story. So how do you take less risk, be debt-free, and take control for the rest of your life? Well, as Jeff mentioned a few times in our workshops, you can also do nothing. And if you do nothing, it's not the right way, as you all know. However, we haven't really found the solution we have. So in order to take control, we can show you how you can do that. Step one, we have a DNA worksheet, and Jeff will show you where to find that at the end of the presentation. We provide you a written report for review, sort of a Q&A. It's open. It's here to listen to your questions and show you how the analysis can help you. And then you can implement or not implement the 90-day course to use the software and test it for yourself. This has worked for so many people with this new system instead of purchasing anything. So you can receive alternate solutions, concepts, strategies every week to review and discuss during the 90 days. You'll receive valuable insights to reestablish a new strategy and solutions to build your wealth faster than you could ever imagine. So which is most important risk to you? There are 5 key risks in financial planning. You've got market risk, tax risk, inflation risk, longevity risk, survivorship risk. All of these things are risks. So where do you go? What do you do? There's never a perfect product or program that will meet every adversity possibility for you. Of course, what helps you establish priorities and what's important to you is a simple process of running the software every day, every week, or you only have to do it each month. I actually do it each week, and you'll see my dashboard in a few minutes. But if you're waiting to do something, you will lose the lost opportunity. So what price do you pay for waiting? And we can show you that too. So what's the key problem? Debt accumulation or cash flow management? What really is the problem? Well, I've seen for 47 years, the financial industries focus on assets and risk. They do not really talk about our debt. In fact, when I was in the mortgage business in 2003 to 2008, the only time we looked at the debt was to see if they qualify with their credit report. So who has the problem? Everyone. If you have income or you run a business, sole proprietor, this software can help. So why should this problem be solved? Mainly because you can build wealth faster and you learn to leverage debt. Never get rid of debt totally. You need to use the credit cards to play that game. And you can bring scores up from 600 to 700 to 800 by managing your cash flow and managing your debt. So how do I know that this problem can be solved? We have established a Take the 90-Day DNA Challenge course. So there are 8 banking principles that you will learn during this course. We've never learned these in high school or in college. We haven't learned anything about banking principles. They have closed-end loans, interest accumulation, mortgage amortization, canceling interest. How do you do that? How can you cancel the interest that I already owe? How about open-end credit lines or float? Use the bank's float and leverage, and use offset accounts. We can show you how to do that with the software. And of course, we establish a strategic debt payoff. So where do you start to learn about financing and mortgages? You can read a book, listen to a CD, or maybe your brother or your uncle, or you can use a strategic online financial course. We can actually show you how to prepare for a mortgage approval on a purchase or refinance. How many days do you need to clear up issues? Before you let anyone pull credit, you should always know exactly what ratios you have that qualify for bank lending. And the banks don't teach you that. They spontaneously just ask for your social security number and then pull your credit. And we can avoid that type of response from a bank and actually show you how you get, guess what? You're qualified. So let me give you a little banking background. We actually researched, and the Fed actually prints money, as you know. The more they need, they just keep printing money. So we decided to create this course and decide, well, what if I did this? You see, the Fed loans money to banks as they leverage the loan back to you. So we found the solution, and we're going to show you how to use it, which is the key element of this. Buying something and not knowing how to use it is a detriment. So we found that this is what helps 90% of the people be successful. So banks make the spread on every dollar you borrow. Why aren't you making the spread? You know, the math itself is based on the technology called factorial math. We have found in all the analyses we've done, the average number of debt that a household has is 6, although our highest number was a client out in California with 3 properties and 4 credit cards and 2 cars and et cetera, et cetera. And there was no way he could get out of debt. We helped him get there. So why aren't you making the spread? So let's look at the spread. If you want to be like the bank, look at the left side is what they receive, and the right side is what they pay out. That's a big spread. Now look at my dashboard. This is on my particular software dashboard, as we call it. I started 3.5 years ago, actually December, this month, and I had 27 years left. I now have 6.5. That was just by managing my cash flow, not increasing my income. I was doing a lot of things wrong, and I'm in the business 47 years. Look at the interest I have saved. I actually saved in 3 years $37,030. But this is my goal. The software told me that I could actually save $125,000 of this bank interest. That's all the banks. That's my mortgage and my car loans and my credit cards. But I still operate my credit cards at 20 to 30% of the credit allowance. It's moved our credit scores above 700 in 90 days. It's amazing. So right here, I am going to save, sorry about that. I am going to save $125,000 in interest in 6.5 years. And from that point on, I'm going to have a cash flow of $2,800 a month to invest. So let's look at your personal analysis with your numbers, not hypotheticals. You know, the bank usually asks you, how much income do you have? The real question is, what is your financing and buying power? Based on how you manage your money is how they lend money. But we don't realize that. We just want to get the loan. So your mid score has to be 700 or plus to get the best rate. One of my clients just 2 weeks ago got 2.75. She's on this program 14 months, and her scores were not 700, and they're over 780. But 640 gets you an FHA loan. You know, a lot of realtors are negative on FHA loans that are backed by the government because they have what they call a PMI. But we can get into that later. It's irrelevant. If you're renting a home or you're renting apartments, you need to get a home, and this FHA can help you. And with this COVID, it's amazing what the FHA government has actually done, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. So you can have a choice of reading books, as you can see here, right from the bookstore, and you can read all these books, but it doesn't help you every day, every week, every month for the rest of your life. There's a cash flow crisis going on with COVID. There was a recent survey said that 12 million renters owe over $5,000 in past due rent. The reason I'm bringing this up is if you had a home or a condo and it was an FHA loan, do you know what the FHA did this year? In April, they announced that they would, if you lost your job and you qualified, meaning they didn't just give it to everybody, but if you lost your job or your spouse lost your job, they extended the payments for 1 year without a penalty and without any adverse credit reporting. How do I know that? Because my son had an FHA loan. 2 years ago, I helped him get a condo instead of renting. He got an FHA loan with just 3.5% down, and he's so happy. He's not only built equity in the last 2 years, but he did lose his job in May. And so he has now till next April before he makes another payment. Does he have to double up? Nope. They added it to the back end. Now, will your landlord do that? I doubt it. So can we help renters become homeowners? Yes. If you know a realtor and you're friends with them, have them call us. We can show and prove mathematically how to save 3.5% for the FHA down payment using our software. I can show you by just taking the course how long it will take you based on your cash flow to actually save in a savings account 3.5% of the purchase price. So let's take a look at the FHA loan limits. Now, I'm an advocate to get a home. It doesn't have to be a big home or a expensive home. You need to get a home instead of renting. So if you know people that are renting and their families and they have kids and they just feel they can't get ahead to get a home, no matter where they are in the country, we can help them. In our area, the average rental monthly income, or monthly, I'm sorry, rental is $1,250, and that's typically a one bedroom. There are some small two bedrooms, but mostly that's a one bedroom. Now, if you purchased a $200,000 home with 3.5% down, you only need $7,000 and you can get the loan with a 640 score. That's extremely helpful. I'm not sure every realtor is doing that, but by taking our course, whether it's your children, whether it's your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, your mom or dad, we can help them make better decisions. So do you know anyone that's renting? Please let us know. So this is a dashboard. In fact, this shows you, look at this Christmas. Oh, again, I'm sorry about that. What happened there? There we go. So on 12/25, my checking account will have money. It tells you when to transfer and these little arrows. So I am looking to save X amount of dollars in my stock and bond account. And it's telling me on the 25th, happens to be Christmas Day. If I just move from my checking, and I know I have the money because the software helped me create and save that money in my checking account. And then it helps me transfer the day and how much in order to reach my goal. So on the 25th, I go from my checking account to my stock bond account. I'm going to transfer $24.96 to reach my goal, which is inside the software. It knows what my goal is to accumulate. And I'm going to move from my checking to savings of $1,454.14. Now, there's no accounting system or no CPA firm that can show you how to do that, when to do it, how to do it, how much to do it. It's impossible. But look at this. We know that my potential, if I carry this through for 6.5 years and follow what the system says, I am going to save $125,000 of interest the bank will not get. It's back in my pocket. My next transfer, I look at this and I go, wow, how am I going to do that? Well, I already know it's been transferring money from my checking to my savings. I'm going to actually pay down $10,315 on February 19, 2021. No one can show you that, especially your checkbook's not going to be able to do that. Pretty exciting stuff. So testing the DNA system with your numbers, not hypotheticals. Those happen to be my numbers, but when you see your numbers, you will be amazed. So quickly, what the system is not. This is not a debt negotiation program. You can find those on the line. That is the worst thing you can do for your credit score, is try to negotiate. Or there are counseling plans. This is not a counseling plan. This is an interactive math school that teaches you how to use your cash flow to get your and build your wealth. So why is it different than calculators? Because it's interactive. If I tell the software I didn't send $24.94, I only sent $1,400, it readjusts all my numbers instantly. So I tell it what I feel I want to do, but if I follow it, I get to zero the fastest way and build greater wealth. So when can you get started and how? Jeff's going to show you where the DNA worksheet is. You just complete that. We run the analysis free. You attend a review and analysis. Takes 30 minutes. We review your numbers in the system. You do not have to activate the 90-day software. Just the analysis is powerful. You get that free. But if you decide to do the software, as many have, we help set up your tech support meeting, add all your numbers into your own software, and then you are in the game. And then each week you meet with one of our DNA mentors, if not myself, and you begin to look beyond what your checkbook can do. You will have the advanced technology. Week 4 happens to be our game changer. It's the most exciting week out of the entire course, and you will find out how you can accelerate wealth in the 4th week. So how do you manage money just like the banks? Well, as we mentioned, the bank prints money. What we do is we can't print money. What we do is we use credit cards. We take out equity loans. We refinance our home over and over in order to get more cash flow. You no longer have to do that. With our game, we learn their game. We show you how to maintain 30% of your credit lines. Do you know that increases your scores 70 points by keeping all your credit cards at 30% of the credit line available? How do you do that? The software does that. You can pay the minimums and use the software to manage when do you pay more principal down to get to zero. It tells you, just like my screen, I showed you how it says to transfer money. You can monitor your credit at 700 plus scores every month. Should you buy a new car? One of my clients actually did. Why? He said, what if I asked the software? He plugged in the numbers. He needed a new car. It didn't change much. It changed by 6 months. In other words, mine was 6.5 years and I was totally debt free and owned my house outright. He would have been 8 months longer or 7.3. So he wound up buying the car. He needed the car. He travels. And you can also, what if I need to save $10,000 in 12 months to go on vacation to Alaska? You can actually plug that into the software, and it shows you how each week, as little as it may sound, to just send in $182.40 to your savings account. But what if you can find all this out and you did not take advantage of it? That's not a fun thing. So our course will basically teach and train you how the banks make profits. Now you can do it. You know, what date do you pay this? How much should you pay? Should I pay the minimum? It's going to tell you to pay the minimum or more than the minimum. You don't have to pay it, but your numbers, like my dashboard, if you want to keep those numbers tracking, then you pay what it asks you to pay. How do you know you have the money? Because they helped you save it. When my daughter got on this program 3.5 years ago, she said, I never had a savings account like I have now. It's really incredible. So we're going to eliminate interest on every paycheck you get. You're going to eliminate whether it's interest on your credit cards or your mortgage, etc., and decreasing debt and interest every day. So the road to a faster and greater wealth is not the return on the investment. It is the strategy and technology of transferring the dollars that you put to debt and the money to your wealth. So what if, when, and how much to send? This is just an example. This is not your numbers, this is not mine, but this example, this intuitive online system enables you to use financial strategies that the banking industry has used for decades to transform interest payments into your wealth. You can also set up emergency fund. I have one. It tells you, once you enter the numbers, it's going to tell you your low emergency. The minimum you should have, like this example, is 1978. And if you don't have 1978, it's going to show you how to save it and how long will it take to save it without changing your lifestyle. Pretty impressive. So beyond your debt lies your wealth. You just don't know it. So the dashboard is customized based on how you live your lifestyle. We help you with this. Years to pay off, et cetera, et cetera. And here's some alert reminders. We get an alert all the time for the car payment on the 1st, a couple of days ahead. It's just amazing. So as I mentioned, you get a budget. You can create your net worth assets and liabilities. You can see the payoff, the actual dates like I showed you. And you can create your own tax, business, and personal spending reports. Your accountant's going to love that. So these transfers that you see here happen occasionally, sometimes often. My first transfer didn't happen for 4 months. It just depends on your own cash flow. And that's why we really suggest that you fill out the worksheet and get a free analysis. So we already know what the problem is. Now you take the challenge. An educated mind is being kept informed of changes and options. So we call it take the test ride, or reduce your debt, manage your cash flow, increase wealth faster, your wealth. D is for drive more cash flow toward your wealth, not the bank's wealth, yours. And empower your lifestyle, reduce stress, and live longer to enjoy the wealth that you're going to accumulate. So the steps to success, how to get started, you complete the DNA worksheet. There's no social security numbers, no account numbers. Once you completed the numbers from all your statements, you send the form to debtnetworkacademy@gmail.com, and in 24 hours, you receive an email with your DNA personal confidential cash flow report. You will have a free Q&A web meeting with your report, and we will answer any Q&A questions you have. You will see your solutions instantly, and if you decide to take the course, we will help you get started. Otherwise, there's no further commitment, so why not take the test ride? So, Jeff, I'm going to turn it back to you so you can help the people find where the DNA worksheet is at our mphwf.com wealth. I want to thank you all for your interest and your time. If you'd like to send me a personal email, just debtnetworkacademy@gmail.com, and here's to you building wealth faster.
Okay, when you get over to the mphwf.com/wealth website, which is Marketplace for Health, Wealth, and Freedom, you're going to find our analysis opportunity. So here you'll see, and I'm not kidding, you're going to get a chance to get a financials like you've never seen before. You'll notice there's no personal information. You literally just click on the click here button, or if you want to read through a little bit more, and there's a lot of good detail here, and again, those videos that you may want to catch, some older ones are right down there, but right under this great photo of us hanging out together at the beach is your free analysis button. Takes you to the same place, and when you click on it, it downloads a PDF that's fillable for you, or you can print it out and fill it in, and either which way you'll complete it and send it to the Debt Network account, that Gmail account that Sam mentioned. But you can put in here like mortgage lender number 1 or whatever. It doesn't matter. All we need are the numbers, because the math will tell the tale. And then at the very end, you'll have to take a little bit of a guesstimate sometimes, and we'll help you figure out the real number, but you'll speculate on how much your discretionary income. So after I pay every bill onto my name, how much extra money do I have at the end of the month? $100, $200, 500, 1,000, whatever it may be. But we'll help to figure it out. And guess what? We're going to increase that discretionary income almost every single day. You're going to get real excited about that. So again, come back to the site, hit on the free analysis button, and let's see what your numbers look like. Sam, I want to thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks again, Jeff.